Welcome, new and old friends. My name is 242, and this spooky, scary Sunday, I have 3 tales for you. They are all from the subreddit Letsnotmeet. Our first tale is about a creepy neighbor who won't leave a teenager alone. Our second tale is about a brother seeing a ghost, but really, was it a ghost? And our last tale tonight is about a stalker that seems to know just where you are. So make sure you're safe before you sit back and listen to these chilling tales. Creepy neighbor and maybe attempted murderer. My friend Sally has had bad runs with neighbors, but this was one of the worst. Sally lives very close to me, about a 10-minute walk, and we're both around 14 years old when this happened. We live in Aurora, so we both have a lot of land. Me and Sally decided to go camping on her land. We bought some cheap hammocks and went through the bushland. The day prior, we spent clearing some of the razor grass with a cane knife to make a path. We probably should have worn long pants because we ended up with little cuts all over our legs and some on our arms. We set up our hammocks and brought quite a few blankets because it does get pretty cold at night, even though you're sweating throughout the day. We were still on her property and hadn't gone to her neighbor's boundary. Her neighbor had just leased land to new tenants. Me and Sally were sitting on our hammocks, talking and laughing. This was around 9 p.m. We heard something in the bushes. We just thought it was a wallaby. There's plenty of wallabies around there. When we could see a figure of a man. We were whispering to each other, trying to see who it was. At first, we thought it was her brother. He's come and scared us when we were camping previously. Then, as the person got closer, we were thinking it could be her dad. It was dark, and the bushes looked the same from every angle. We realized the man was coming from the other direction than her house. We didn't dare move and covered our torches under our blankets. The man came up and said hi and introduced himself as Ben. Now Ben was extremely drunk. He staggered around and reeked of alcohol. He started saying how we had a nice little camp here and said something pretty unsettling.
I'll have to come out and sunbake naked here on one of these hammocks.
Me and Sally gave each other a worried look, but didn't say anything. It only got worse from there. I can't remember everything he said because it was a while ago, and he was mumbling on for what felt like forever. But some of these things that stuck out were,
I'll have to kill ya, Wolf Creek style.
And said,
You're nearly legal then.
When he asked us our age. Ben was probably in his 40s. Me and Sally were texting each other while he was talking and coming up with an escape plan. He also offered us a puff on the magic dragon and pulled out a glass pipe. We declined. Sally said that we were leaving back to the house to make food. He told us to
come back.
We left our blankets and most of our stuff there and legged it. We told her dad what happened and we slept inside. The next morning, we went back to our campsite to find everything was burnt. A circle with probably a 20-meter radius was all burnt. Coming from the circle was a line of burnt grass going towards the neighbor's house. I'm not a firefighter or a forensics, but it seemed obvious that some kind of fuel was used. Me and Sally were talking, and it dawned on us the probability that Ben may have thought we were in the hammocks due to the pile of blankets. Ben was definitely drunk enough not to be able to tell the difference. We went and told Sally's dad, who then checked it out and went to the neighbors. Ben's roommate answered the door and said Ben wasn't home and apologized. He gave Sally's dad $50 for the blankets and hammocks. Nothing more happened for a few months. Sally told me at school about how Ben has been caught on camera sneaking around her yard. I went to her house after school because she was going to be home alone until her dad finished work. I ended up sleeping over that night. That's when he came over. Ben was drunk and came out the front of Sally's house and started yelling, accusing Sally of stealing his dog. Sally's dad called the police. They arrested him. The next day, we found a knife in the yard. It wasn't from Sally's house. The police came again and we told them about the knife, and they got the footage from the cameras as well. I don't know much of what happened to Ben, but he no longer lives next to Sally. So Ben, let's never meet again. My brother saw a ghost as a kid. 2 decades later, I realized what he actually saw. I was about 7 years old, my brother about 10. It was well past our bedtime when our mom woke up off the couch to put us to bed. Our dad worked construction out of town back then, so it was often just 3 of us at the house for weeks at a time. Up the stairs and to the immediate right was our parents' bedroom. Going left put you in the middle of the hallway. Taking another left down the hallway led to my brother's room. The opposite end was my room, which was also across from the hallway from the upstairs bathroom. At either side of the hallway are window doors we always kept locked and rarely used. The door on the end led to a balcony overlooking our front yard, and the door on my brother's end opened to our back porch. The house kind of leans into a small hill. My brother and mom both had the habit of waking up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. I only knew this because I was always a light sleeper and they just couldn't help flushing with the door wide open. This night, however, my brother stops on his way to his room and comes back towards the bathroom.
I'm going to try to pee before I go to bed. The past few nights I've been too afraid to walk to the bathroom. I keep seeing a man wearing stripes at the end of the hallway.
I don't know if my mom wrote it off as my brother telling ghost stories to try to scare me, or if she was already half asleep and just didn't catch it, but she didn't react at all to my brother's confession. I, on the other hand, was terrified by it. The fear of seeing a ghost like that at the end of the hallway or through the window is the reason I started running from the stairs to my bedroom at night. Years later, when I was 18, my mom and I were having a conversation in her car about a dog we had for a very short time when I was little. We were sharing stories about Max's tendency towards destroying my shoes and other unruly behavior when my mom blurted out,
Do you remember that time I opened the front door for the cops and Max ran inside to the kitchen and started tearing open that big bag of dog food we had?
This really caught me off guard, because in all the years I lived in that house, we never once called the cops. I asked her what she was talking about, and she looked equally surprised, as if she had just revealed something by accident.
Oh, that's right. I never told you because you were too young at the time. One night, I woke up hearing noises outside my window, and when I looked, I saw a man staring into my bedroom.
She went on to describe how turning on the lights caused him to take off running, and how she grabbed my dad's pistol before calling the cops.
I can't remember all the details I gave them when they showed up. Tall white male, wearing a striped shirt with jeans, short dark hair, something like that. They said it matched the description of a man they were looking for in the area. It turns out he had escaped from jail on murder charges.
Now, I know it sounds so obvious hearing these two stories back to back, but it wasn't until a few years ago that, in my mid-20s, I pieced all this together. My brother had unknowingly warned us about a murderer who spent multiple nights casing our home. Online fan turned stalker. I never posted to this subreddit before, but after working with the authorities, I feel safe enough to share my story. For context, I, a 20 female, started an OnlyFans account over the summer to support myself through school, and things were great until I posted my Amazon wish list. Amazon doesn't release your address to people who gift you items, but third-party sellers can. And that's where I went wrong. By the way, not trying to promote it here. This is a very frightening story, and I feel like it should be shared. In late July, I got a puppy. One night around 2 a.m., I took him outside to go to the bathroom. While he was doing his business, I noticed a car parked outside my family home. I saw a figure in the car and could tell they were looking at me. But I couldn't make out their face because it was pitch black outside. Feeling a bit uneasy, I picked my puppy up to take him back inside. And when I started to move, the car parked in my driveway. I sprinted back inside and locked the door, but they never approached my house. The next morning, I went to check the mail. There was an envelope addressed to my OF name with $20 in it, but no note. I was currently still at home with my parents, who had no idea about my OF account, so I didn't mention it to them. A week later, I moved back to my college town to get ready to start school. At this time, I had stopped posting for the time being until I could figure out how they got my address. I've watched enough crime shows to know there is a possibility I could be in danger. I live in a duplex with a gated parking lot for reference. One morning, I was planning on vlogging my trip to Target because I was planning to start a YouTube channel in the near future since OF felt unsafe. When I got to my car, it had been ransacked and my vlogging camera was missing. I know it's my fault for leaving it in the car, but I was using it the night before, and since I live in a gated area, I didn't think it would be unsafe. It wasn't in plain sight either. I had hidden it in my glove box. I used that camera to film my content, and the SD card that was in there had all my unreleased photos and videos. I know they stole it just for the SD card. Anyways, this is where the story gets weird. there are cameras outside in the parking lot. So we were able to watch this person break into my car and find the camera. And they didn't touch any of the other 7 cars on the lot. They knew which was mine, which suggested they had been watching me for a bit. After they got the camera, they walked around the duplex until they stopped near my window. My bedroom faces an outside street, and my blinds are broken, so it's very easy to see in. I have a curtain, but it doesn't cover my windows all the way. The person watched me sleep for an hour or so. I have no idea why they didn't try to break in, but thank goodness they didn't. This person then sold the camera to a pawn shop, and since I know the serial number, the police were able to find it. However, my SD card was missing. I believe the police are still trying to track them down, but I have broken my lease and moved to a new place, so hopefully that will keep me safe. Hey guy who terrorized me at my home and apartment and stole my camera, let's not meet. That is our tales for tonight. 42, what are you?
Well, darlings, we have finally made it to 42 subscribers. Maybe it's time I had a special. We shall see, my sweet darlings.
I'm sorry about that. But yes, we have made it to 42 subscribers. Thank you so much. Now, if you liked this video, hit that like button and make sure it feels it. If you want to hear more, subscribe and turn that bell to all notifications. I did put another video out and it's very special, so please check it. The link, of course, will be in the little box for you. Come back this Thursday for my day stories, and have a good night, my friends.